Hello. Hi. Welcome. Sorry. I'm already messing up. It's 1:14 a.m. And we're talking about books that I'm breaking up with. As in books I'm giving away. For various reasons. I'm going to go through every single book because I have a lot of them. I have a box full. I can't lift it up. I would, but you have to trust me. I'm going to go through every book, so. But first you may be wondering why in general I'm filming this video. Two things. First of all, in a week's time, yeah, in 7 days, I'll be going to college. Another reason. My family's moving. And I can't bring all the books from this house to the new house. Well, I guess I could, but I don't really want to. And I'm trying to learn the art of decluttering. So, here we are. I've been dreading filming this video because it's sad. It's sad to say goodbye. Not to people, but to books. Okay, let's just get this over with. I'm going to do it kind of like in reverse order of when I decided to say goodbye to them, because I've just been adding books this entire summer to it, and the last book that I added was actually yesterday. So, okay. First book is Dear Evan Hansen, written by Evelyn, Stephen Levinson, Ben Pasek, and Justin Paul. This is based on the Broadway musical. And the reason I'm giving away this book is because I recently made a video about it. I read it again, and I just don't think I need to read the story. I need to experience the story any more times. And it could potentially be uplifting to someone else. I just don't think it can do that much for me at this point. The cover was on upside down. But yeah. Check out that video, it's probably out by now. Next, we have We Came, We Saw, We Left by Charles Wheelet. I also read this for a video. I went to a cruise during the summer with my family, and this is one of the books that I brought, and I read it in a few days while I was on the cruise, at least majorly. I definitely recommend that video, that was really fun to film. So yes, it's about a family that takes a gap year and travels the world. It's really interesting. Maybe I can also say if I recommend books or not. I'll say yes, no, or maybe. This is a maybe. Honestly, this is like a higher maybe. I don't know. Do I think it's good? It was nice to get through. It was fun, interesting to read, but like I don't think it's gonna stick with me. Honestly, it just makes me wanna write more consistent notebook entries. So it did something for me, but high maybe. Okay. The School Story by Andrew Clemens. I don't know. I feel like this may be about someone plagiarizing. This cover was drawn by Brian Selznick, which I think surprises no one because it looks so much like his books, such as The Something of Hugo and The Marvels and Wonderstruck. But yeah, like I'm not gonna read this. It's like it's a book for people younger than me. I just don't need it in this collection, in my collection. So yeah, I don't remember it enough to recommend it or not. So The Constitution of the United States of America, or the Declaration of Independence. It's not like I'm ever going to read this. I got this for AP Gov. I'm not going to read it. Sure, I recommend it. The Ukulele Method Book 2 by Lil Rev. I don't know what that pronunciation was. I don't actually have the first book of this. I only bought the second book. I know my ukulele. It's one of the things I know that I know, for sure. I just don't need this, and I'm sure like someone who plays ukulele would benefit more from this. I would recommend it. Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. I would not recommend. I'm kidding. I already have a copy of this. It's somewhere. I'm actually hoping to film a video like where I read 7 of Shakespeare's plays. So yeah, I'm still reading. I still have a copy of this book. I'm still going to read this book. I just don't need 2 copies. So yeah, I think this is actually like the family's copy, but whatever. I'm giving it away. I guess I recommend it. Baritone Ukulele Book 1. I also play the baritone ukulele. I feel like I know it enough. I don't know. I have so many ukulele books, man. I just don't think I need all of them. See, if I look at it, I'm going to want to keep it. Nope. Okay, I do recommend it, though. This is an audiobook, The 5 People You Beat in Heaven by Mitch Albom. I'm actually reading another book by Mitch Albom currently called Have Little Faith. But yeah, this was good. I read it while I had the coronavirus. So reading this book is one of the few things I accomplished while I was in quarantine. I actually have a video about it if you want to check it out. But it was good. I liked it. I like his writing style. It's about this person. Is his name Eddie? It is. Nice. Okay, I remembered. Who works at an amusement park and he passes away, and it's all about like the first 5 people that he meets in heaven, as the title suggests. I suppose I'll recommend this. Then we have The Chocolate Touch by Patrick Skeen Catling. I know I have had another copy of this book at some point. I don't know if I've donated it. It's another like kid book I don't really need, and I think someone could benefit from it. I can't really remember it that much, so I can't really say if I recommend it or not. I'm not sure if it's considered like a retelling of The Midas Touch. I don't know if that's actually a book or not, or if it's just like a fable or whatever, but yeah, I don't need this. Yeah, a lot of these books are actually books that I read in my childhood, which I just want people to read now that I've experienced it myself. So, in order to make this video not too long and for me to go to bed before 2 a.m. for once, I'll just list a lot of the books that I'm giving away that I just read as a child. Let me get them out of the box first. The Race Across America by Geronimo Stilton. Don't Wake the Dinosaur by Geronimo Stilton. Space Mice by Geronimo Stilton. Geronimo and the Golden Middle Mystery by Geronimo Stilton. Treasure Hunters by James Patterson. Laugh Out Loud by James Patterson. The Quest of Paradise, Geronimo. The Kingdom of Fantasy, Geronimo. The Phoenix of Destiny by Geronimo. This is like technically the longest book I've ever read. It has like 574 pages. But like, look at that text size. But yeah, I remember feeling really accomplished after reading them. So yeah, those are all just like kid books I'm not going to read again, and they're taking up space, which I can fill with new books, potentially. I don't remember the plots of all of them, but yeah, Geronimo Stilton is definitely a series that I read a lot when I was younger. Like, I probably read every single book. And there are also like, there's the main book series called Geronimo Stilton, and then there are lots of different, like, what's the word? Spin-offs? There it is. So, he's a space mice, and he's also a cave mouse. He's a cave mice. They are, whatever. He's a cave mouse, and he's also a space mouse. And I know his sister Thea also has a whole entire series of her own, called Thea Stilton. And then we also have the Kingdom of Fantasy series, which is like the fantasy series, where he goes on lots of different adventures, some including dragons, as you can see on the title, on the cover page. So yeah, it holds a near and dear place to my heart. I've actually been lying to you, if I'm being honest, because this entire book series actually is not written by a mouse. It's written by someone named Elizabetta Damis. So thank you, Elizabetta, for single-handedly writing the book series of my childhood. And then these 2 books are by James Patterson, which was also another author that I read a lot of books by. Treasure Hunters is like the first book in the Treasure Hunters series. I think there are 9 or something like that now. And then Laugh Out Loud is like his kid version of his autobiography, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I have lots of other James Patterson books. They may be somewhere else in this box, or I don't want to sell them. I don't know. They're somewhere. I know there are more than just these 2. As for if I recommend these books, I don't know. Like, if you're young enough, sure. Speaking of young enough, we got another book series from when I was young. Stick Dog. I don't know if you remember this. So cool. I don't know why I don't have the first one, but I think this is the second one. Stick Dog Wants a Hot Dog by Tom Watson. And the fourth one, I would say, Stick Dog Chases the Pizza by Tom Watson. I remember this is the only hardcover that I have of the series, but like the other books that I have all in paperback. I think I discovered this in a Scholastic book sale. My sister may have actually read them before me. Then, the book is Notes on an Execution by Danya Kukafka. This was good. I think this is the first book in the year that like I vividly remember my experience reading it, I guess besides Dear Evan Hansen. But it was dark, and I just don't think I want my head to be in that space, in the space of this book, ever again, really. So, it goes bye-bye. Now, Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. This is a book that I read for required reading in my freshman year of high school. I actually have a video that I filmed but not edited yet, where I talk about all the books that I read for required reading. I hope I remember to mention this one, but yeah, I just don't think I'm going to read it again. Oh, apparently it won the Hugo Award. I know, one, like, potentially my favorite book ever, Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, also won the Hugo Award, so that's cool. Yeah, I don't remember hating this or anything, but yeah, I don't need it. Such as with this book, Everything You Need to Ace Chemistry in One Big Notebook for High School. I was in chemistry in my junior year, and I'm not anymore. And if I can help it, I will not be taking a chemistry class ever again. So, also I will never be in high school chemistry again. So, I did not bad in the class, C+. The Odyssey by Homer, another book that I actually read in freshman year, but I don't think we read the entirety of it. I remember liking it more than the Iliad, but like I feel like there are copies online for free. I just don't need the physical book if I really want to read it. So yeah. I don't know if I recommend this. Man, I don't know why I even made that a rule. I wanted to recommend books. Okay, The Color of People. The Color of Water by James McBride. I know this is about a black boy who has a white mother and his experience with that. I read this like multiple years ago. I want to say like the summer after I graduated from middle school, so it's been a very long time. I just don't want to read it. I am gonna read, hopefully, a book by James McBride semi-soon, though, called The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. Tweak by Nick Sheff. Another kind of so much notes on an execution. It's just dark, and I just don't want to read it again. So, yeah. And this is a memoir. This is a true story. Well, Notes on an Execution wasn't. But I found some other Geronimo Stilton books. The Way of the Samurai, The Stone of Fire, and Rumble in the Jungle. If I had more time, if I didn't only have a week until school, I'd definitely make a video. I read all the Geronimo Stilton books that I own because I'd love to read them again, but like, not really. I'd rather read other books instead. All the Right Places, Jennifer Niven. This definitely holds a special place in my heart because this is actually the very first book that I read for my booktube channel. What you may not know is that I actually started making videos about books like way before I actually made a channel for YouTube or on YouTube. So yeah, I read this book at the beginning of my sophomore year of high school, and I started this booktube channel. I guess it was like at the end of sophomore year, potentially. So yeah, maybe I should keep this for old time's sake. I don't know, but like I read it recently. I also made a video about it where I read the book and finally watched the movie, because I'd always not watched the movie because it was TVMA, but now that I am older than 17, I decided to watch the movie. I made a video about it. It may be out by now. So if you want to hear my thoughts about this book, you can watch that video, but I don't think I would recommend this book. Sorry, I've not been consistent with the recommendations. Tweak, I guess, if you want to hear why you shouldn't do drugs, and then Notes on an Execution. I don't know, if you want to get into the mind of a serial killer and a person with that is psychopathic, that has psychopathy. Behind the song I also read pretty recently. It is edited by K.M. Walton, and it's basically a lot of authors coming together and writing stories or essays about a song that impacted them or a song that they liked. It's a really interesting premise, but like I don't like all of the stories, and I don't want to read it again, so off it goes. But does it go off with a recommendation from me? Great question. No. No. And neither does Other Friend Places. The Wizard of Oz by J.M. Barrie. Right? No, J.M. Barrie wrote Peter Pan. L. Frank Baum. I haven't read this recently. I have not, but I've had this copy for a while. And you know, it's just taking space up at this point. So I just hope that a Gen Alpha person will pick this book up and ask their mom, "What's the Wizard of Oz?" And they can read it and get introduced to this wonderful, fantastical story. Recommendation given. The Boy in the Black Suits by Jason Reynolds. I read this, I don't know, maybe junior year or something. I just don't really remember it. At this point in my life, I don't really want to keep books that I don't think I'm going to read again, or just didn't make that much of an impact on me, so I don't recommend it, I guess, because I don't remember it. No Brainer by Jeff Kenny. The lengths I took to read this book. I made an entire video about it. The entire Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, in fact, just to read this book. And I'm returning it. I don't recommend it. The Death of Vivek. I also got this recently. It was well written. The story was interesting. I finished it in like 3 days. But there's like one aspect of this book that I really can't, I can't vibe with. I refuse to vibe with. So yeah, like I'll definitely read other books by the author, Okweiki Umezi. I just don't think I am going to read this book specifically again. But it was good. I do recommend it cautiously. It's like a high maybe, I guess, but I guess, yeah, I guess. More Geronimo books. Journey Through Time and The Enchanted Charms. This is another Kingdom of Fantasy book. It says the 7th one, apparently. The Journey Through Time is another, actually no, I think this is actually like its own book, but it has like 3 small stories within it, and he's time traveling. Getting to the endish. Enemies Svelon Trimakova. This was one of my most disappointing books a few years back. It is the 5th book in the Barry Brook Middle School series. I love the first 3 books, and this series are my favorite book section. I didn't like this one, so I erased it from my bookshelf. I don't know why I said the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Ransom Breaks. I read this because I wanted to. I don't know why I started the sentence like that. I got it from a book sale, and I watched the movie. And I have a video about that process if you want to check that out. If I keep one book from a series, it makes me want to buy all the other books from the series. And I just don't want to, because I'm not interested in the series enough to buy all the books. I remember returning a book from the first book from the Gentleman's Guide. Is it Vice and Virtue? I can't even remember. I think that is it. The first book from that series, because I didn't want to get the other 2. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I recommend it. It was interesting, I guess. Did you know that if you sit on the floor for too long, your everything falls asleep? My foot is so asleep right now. I can barely move it. Well, I can move it, but it just, like, I don't feel it. It doesn't feel like anything. I really hate this feeling. Okay. get up off the floor as soon as possible and continue so we can finish. Okay, on writing, Stephen King. We read this for school, junior year for my English class. It was okay. I think I wanted more like Stephen King recommendations for like how to write a good book. But it was more narrative more than anything, more a memoir than anything. So yeah, I don't need this. I don't recommend this. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I believe may just be the most expensive paperback book that I've ever bought. $17. It was good. I enjoyed it. I definitely like Daisy Jones. Oh, now my foot's on the stage when like it's pin and needle and it really like feels weird whenever I move it at all. Oh, that's so fun. But I know after this it'll be better. Okay, I'm sorry for trauma dumping. I actually have a video about this one, so you can check it out if you'd like. I know that it's also becoming like a Netflix movie, so maybe I'll buy it again when the Netflix movie comes out, or maybe I'll keep it. You know what? I'll keep it, because like I don't see myself never rereading this book. And like if the Netflix movie comes out, which I know it probably will, if it doesn't get canceled or something, I'm gonna want to read this book. So yeah, I'll keep it. Yay, one less book to break up with. Okay. Got another James Patterson book. I knew there was. I Funny, which actually at some point was in my favorite book section, like ever. Like my favorite book section of like the favorite books I've ever read. It is good. Nice representation. The main character, Jamie, is in a wheelchair and he's a comedian, and it's pretty cool. I know it's like a pretty long series. I remember I had another book from the series at some point. I can't remember what it's called, but I do recommend this because I remember liking it. And like if it was in my favorite book section, I would recommend it. Okay. Geronimo Stilton again. What number is this? It's the sixth one apparently. The Search for Treasure. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Harmon. I've read this twice. I'm not reading it again, probably. I made a video the first time I read it. I read it again for the book club that I had at my high school, but yeah, I don't know. I don't need it. I don't, and I didn't really like love it either time that I read it, so goodbye. I don't recommend it. The Fountains of Silence. Look at this. It's so thick, and it's historical fiction. I actually got this from $4 or $5 from Barnes & Noble because it was like with any purchase of a cafe item, you can get it for $5. I don't know, man. I just don't think I'm gonna ever read this. I'm not a big historical fiction fan, like ever. But also, like, history is important. It tells the story of how we got where we are. So maybe I should keep it. Let's read the first page. That's what I tend to do whenever like I buy a new book, or when I'm at Barnes & Noble when I'm looking at books. Like, will I be attracted to the book like immediately? So if the first few sentences are interesting, then I will keep it. They stand in line for blood. Pretty good. We're keeping it. We're keeping it. Who are you kidding? Who are we kidding? We're keeping it. You know this book. I know this book. You know why I'm taking it away, right? Because I only have the first, second, seventh, and eighth book of the series. That means I don't have the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Instead of buying more, I was trying to rhyme it, but I don't know. Just return one to the store. But the store's a donation place. And then this is, I believe, my most recent DNF. True Biz by Sarah Noffick. I just wasn't getting through it, and I wanted to read more books, other books than that one. So I don't think I need to stay here because I tried reading it and I wasn't interested. So why should I keep it? So yeah, those are all the books in the box. Here's the box, bookless. That's a hanger. But yeah. It's not all sad because my family and I are actually going to like a gently used bookstore kind of thing tomorrow or later today. It is the next day. It is 1:47 a.m. So I will be getting more books. I hope not the same number as these, because these are a lot. These have been accumulated since, I guess, not even the beginning of summer, maybe a little earlier than that, like May maybe. Let me count them for you and myself, so I can brag to my family later. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just so everything doesn't fall, I'll put it. Stacks of 10. 1, 2, 3. That was a weird way to stack something, and like the spines aren't even on the same side. Oh brother. 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 45 bucks going away from me. How about that? Could have been 47, but I'm a coward. Thanks for hanging out with me this late in the night. Thanks for keeping me up when I should have been asleep. These are all gonna go to the place we're going tomorrow. The way it works, I'm pretty sure, is that you get you're able, if you want, you can get like store credit from the books that you bring. So yeah, I can use these donated books to get more books and not necessarily technically have to pay for them, in cash at least. I think that's how it works. But should I film? That'd be kind of cool to vlog. I haven't done a vlog in a while. Maybe, I don't know. If I remember to film like in the morning, then I'll do it. That'd be cool. Maybe I should. I never vlog. I miss that. Yeah, we'll do it. Why not? YOLO. FOMO. YMC. Thank you so much for watching, as always. This is one of the last times I'm going to be filming in this room. Just so weird to think about. Only a week left. I'm not an attractive crier. Still really weird to think about. At least I am bringing like a lot of books to where we're moving to. This whole bookshelf, basically. I also need to film a video about the books that I'm bringing to college, so yeah. That's going to be probably a more enjoyable video to film than this one. But, okay. Good morning, not good night. Good morning. Cue that outro, Kyler. Breakups are hard. Breakups are so hard, but you learn from them. Maybe not.